everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, and we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left. Yeah.
Good evening, welcome to the Steve and Ice Show. Hope you're having a great Monday. Hope it'll get better for you. We're back with the latest in sports, fashion, movie reviews, hot topics, and the best indie music out there. Now later in the show we welcome Trina Louis and Dr. Lomax. They're from the church. It's called Westwood Baptist Church, and they're putting together an event called #WokeAtTheWood, #MeToo. It's bringing sexual assault to the black community, the black church community. They're discussing all that. And then later in the show, we welcome Deanna Lynn, a comedian who now has her own restaurant, catering delivery service called Deez Hot Spot. You want to hear her inspiring story. Now listen, once you connect with us online, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course, our official website, thesteveandiceshow.com. When we come back, hot topics, right back after this.
So we taking over one time.
Manga never suffer, suffer, manga never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking. Manga never suffer, suffer, manga never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she checking. I said the trooper she waiting, she checking, she looking like she not know what they are talking. I told her that trouble she causing, the way that she rocking and shaking her to my Onina Fatumata, put it on me like she from Kakatai. All the men is scatter, now penny hour in a chaklai. When you tie your lapa and you wear your skin test, when you rocking your tuma, Bange, I won't marry you. Chamu, I won't take you. Anything you want, I give it to you. Take my knee, my money, my car, my clothes, my everything, oh. Suffer, Bange never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking. Bange never suffer, suffer. Bange never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking.
What play you non see fun get capping? Like I said before, hungry line blocking. You leave it, another scam and we'll bop it. Grab it, squeeze it, with dry face. That it done, you will be trying how to catch it. You know you're missing a casa bete. You fix it, all five, trying how to catch. Then you want speed series now till they get. Pretty girl, let me take you out of dinner. I got a cheddar, forgive me, I was a sinner. Gonna be better from January down to December. Take trips, go to spots even in the winter. So sexy, gorgeous, and beautiful. Everything that we do is so memorable. I'm feeling you from your head down to your toes. Don't have to speak on it, I'm gonna show.
I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking. Bange never suffer, suffer. Bange never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking.
Anytime she walking, the boy them be watching. Anytime she walking, the boy them be jaking. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn, girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn, girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you blow my mind away. Anytime you turn like way, girl, you make me wanting you tonight. Forget, never, you never suffer.
Setting, that's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jackie. Forget never suffer, suffer, forget never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting, that's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jackie.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Ms. Parker, how's it going?
Happy Monday, birthday boy. How are you?
I'm good. It's Stephen Knight Eve, birthday Eve. I'm excited.
Yes, Knight Eve, I like that. Stephen
You're right.
Definitely is.
Well, finally.
I love birthdays. Not just
I know you do. Yeah, I am excited. I'm excited. We'll all get together tomorrow and then head off to L.A. this weekend, so I'm excited about that.
Yay!
How was your weekend?
It was good. I've still been celebrating, so.
Right.
I'm ready for pie season to be over. I went out every single day this weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. Someone took me out.
Well, let me ask you this. So, because you're a year older, you weren't here the day of your birthday. You were out, turned up in where were we at? Trinidad, yeah. What's something that you've learned now that you're a year older? What's something that you take with you as you reach another year?
I learned something about myself just about every day. I'm a person who is constantly seeking growth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the last 3 months, but I think last year for me was a year of learning how to move on without resentment. I think that a lot of times I had expectations of people,
right?
And when they didn't meet those expectations, my pain turned into resentment, and it came across. It turned into anger and disappointment, but that came across as resentment. So
wow.
I know there are several people who were placed into my life for a while now, and I think to teach me that lesson, and I finally got it last year.
Wow.
Let people be who they are, and when somebody is who they are, and once I discover that their true self and no longer that they no longer fit the fantasy that I've developed in my head about them, that I need to let that go and accept them for who they are, and then no longer hold on to the fantasy of who I want them to be.
That's big. So
that was a lesson that I posted on Facebook last year, probably late December, because I think last year was the journey for me. I discovered there were people in my life that not only had I had expectations for it and they couldn't meet that expectation, but once they didn't do that, my hurt turned into anger, and that anger turned into resentment, and that's not healthy. And so forgiving people without resentment was my lesson last year. So this year I'm open to whatever lessons and whoever is placed in my life to teach me whatever lessons I'm supposed to learn this year. I'm always looking for why people are in my life, even if it's not a good experience, if it's not a pleasant experience. I know that they're there for a reason. Every lesson is not going to feel good.
Right.
It's not supposed to. That's why it's a lesson. So I think people are in your life to teach you something, whether or not their experience is pleasurable or not. It still is. They still have their place and their purpose in your life.
I agree. I've just learned that lesson this year. I'm a couple years older than you, but but I learned that lesson this year about. I learned that lesson this year about when relationships don't work or situations don't work. A lot of times it's not really about you. You know what I mean? And when we learn to take ourselves out the equation, you know what I mean, and allow people to be who they are, a lot of times we dodge the bullet. You know what I mean? So it's interesting you said that because I learned that lesson just this year, in January. So yeah.
I think a lot of things aren't about us. I think a lot of things aren't about us.
Exactly.
When people behave a certain way, just think about how you behave and react to things sometimes, right?
Right.
Sometimes it has nothing to do with the other person. A lot of times when I react to things, I'm reacting to those things out of past experiences.
Yeah.
Out of my perception of how I view that particular thing or that person.
It's
very little does it have to do with whoever I'm reacting to or why I'm reacting to them. Even when someone, that's why I have people in my life that drive me crazy, right? I'm like, I know the universe is like, there's so many lessons in this one person.
Exactly.
It's overwhelming. The relationship can be very shaky because of that, but it's really rarely ever about us. It's just about individuals, how they perceive life and how their experiences have shaped them to perceive things and how you deal with and how they interact and deal with you. So I think awareness of who you are, awareness and consciousness towards yourself and others.
Right.
If you're conscious towards yourself, that means you're aware of your own actions. If you're conscious towards others, that means you're aware of other people's action and how it reflects back on you. So I think that's important. I agree with you. I think a lot of times things don't have much to do with us.
And then once you realize it's not about you, it makes it easier to walk away or to move on or whatever you have to do from it.
Yeah.
So
It does make life a lot simpler.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that, Ms. Parker.
Say amen.
Amen. What's up, Chike? How's it going?
Sorry, Chike.
How are you?
No, I'm going to ask Chike because do you want to weigh in on that?
Y'all were really onto something. Yeah, definitely. Because I'm about 5 minutes older than you two.
Right.
What I've learned in getting more mature is sureness of self.
Right. Yep.
And you begin to know yourself better as you get older. And then what you really realize when it comes to stuff like that is not to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
So you begin to see things before that power of discernment gets so much stronger as you get older.
Yeah.
And you save yourself a whole lot of trouble and turmoil because you already know what it is when you see it. You can call it.
Right. And one thing I always said is once you are secure of who you are as a person, not only will it exude in who you are, but it will prevent certain people from coming to you a certain way because they say, "Oh, I can't do that with him because he knows who he is." You know what I'm saying? People can identify when someone's weak or kind of insecure kind of thing. But yeah, we ain't even have a preaching moment.
Wait, one more thing.
Uh-huh.
There's a phrase that I say, and it normally helps in situations of ambiguity when you start to question stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember, rejection is God's protection.
Exactly.
Things don't work out. Things don't fit. It's for a reason.
Say that again.
Rejection is God's protection.
I agree. Well, that's our church moment. So if you listen out there, hallelujah. Well, listen. The question of the day is, and it's crazy we're transitioning to this, but the question of the day is, how would your ex describe you? And a lot of people said which one, but how would your ex describe you, Ms. Parker? One of them. How would they describe you?
So I saw this question, and please forgive me because my answer is not going to be anything in line with probably what you're needing from me.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the question and I thought about it. I'm like, I've never thought about that.
Oh wow.
I think at this point with my exes, what they think of me doesn't matter.
Someone else said that.
I'm cool with all of them. I have nobody that I've ever dated that I'm like I totally hate or whatever. A lot of times I see them we're in the same circle, but I don't care. Like I don't think there's anything they could say to me that's gonna make me or break me.
Yeah.
So there is a thing that I learned when I used to work my life coach. She used to always say, "Do not allow anybody to put you on a pedestal." And I was confused at first, like, okay, why? And he's like, the same people who put you on the pedestal are able to bring you down. If you built your self-esteem on what they said to put you on that pedestal, they have that same power to say things if you on the pedestal. So there is nothing they can say to make me, to put me on the pedestal. There's nothing they can say to take me down the pedestal. I am so sure of who I'm becoming and what I am becoming and my truth that my experience with them was just that, an experience. An experience that led me to the woman that I am today, that helped me, that helped make me the woman that I am today. And I'm thankful for all of their experience, all of the experiences with every single one of them, good or bad. But I don't think I will care much about what they have to say.
Good answer. What about you, Chike?
Well, I have to preface it by saying that I'm not on any negative terms with any of my exes. We're not friends either. And I'm going to use an adage that I use for any other person because that's who those people are, any other person at this point. You're ex for a reason.
Right.
What you think about me is none of my business.
Okay. That's true.
That's my disposition. I just, they're not components in my life for that to actually weigh in at this point. So, I mean, whatever they think about me, it has no weight. It bears no weight to me.
And I think also piggybacking that is that everyone has their own experience in that relationship. You know what I mean? And so, that's true. They got what they got. You got what you got, or whoever the situation may be. I think and it could be just me, but I think most of my exes think I was a great person, and it didn't work for whatever reason. But I can't think of any situation where we just hate each other. Well, maybe one. But they would just hate each other. And I have respect and a genuine – my thing is if I cared about you at some point, I don't no longer care about you. You know what I mean? But, yeah. But anyway, go on. Tweet us, Steve and I Show, SHO, and let us know how would your ex describe you. All right, hot topics. So Vivica Fox and 50 Cent. So she's writing a tell-all book. It's called Every Day I'm Hustling. And in the book, she's talking about her sex life with 50 Cent. Now, she pretty much says that 50 Cent, she enjoyed having sex with him, but it was more PG-13. And that she always had to initiate things. And so 50 Cent came out, and she also talks about her lessons that she learned from Kill Bill and Set It Off. But the mention of 50 Cent had 50 Cent like he posted. He was like, "That was like 14 years ago. Who does this? What do you think? What do you think about her talking about this 14 years later in her book?"
But it's not just that she does it in her book. Like every couple of months, you hear something she said about 50 Cent. Let it go.
Right.
I think she's one of those women who she has an obsession with people when it wasn't her that broke it off. When she didn't have, I think she's one of those people who, it's all good if I initiate a breakup. I'm going to move on. But once that control has been removed from me and the person initiates the breakup and no longer wants me, then it's a lifelong battle to somehow regain their attention. I just think it just make her look really stupid. It's embarrassing her. Like, she needs to just let it go. He makes fun of her all the time. And every few months telling how he was the love of her life and he was this. Trust and believe me. It would have taken me a minute to get over it. It takes me a minute. I don't get over a breakup easily. That's why I don't take that much.
Right.
But once I do, it's like you almost never existed.
When I break, I break.
Right. Never existed. So 50 Cent wouldn't have heard his name out of my mouth the last 14 years. Okay. I just think it's embarrassing. Every time I read something, I get so embarrassed for her. I almost want to cover my eyes as if it was me. I'm like, Lord.
Right.
That's all she talks about.
Yeah. What about you, CK?
When it comes to Vivica Fox, I have sadness in my heart because I'm trying to understand and figure out when did she become this D-level celebrity. Vivica Fox used to be up on top of everything. There was a Vivica Fox that would never do anything like this, who wouldn't seem like she was so desperate for attention.
Yeah, I think she's losing.
You think what?
People who she doesn't do well with times changing. For example, look at Holly. She's had some public
Halle Berry.
With
yeah.
Beyonce's husband, Halle Berry.
She
just doesn't know how to adjust to her life as she gets older. That's what it is. I think she wanted to stay young in the spotlight for so long that she is desperate for that. And now she's almost out here as a joke. People are just like, making fun of her. Vivica Fox is just a mess now. I've never liked her when she was an A-list celebrity, but now it's horrible. I almost followed her for laughs.
Wow.
She's gonna get into it 50 cents. They're gonna start posting stuff, and it's just comical at this point. It's like, let it go.
She's gonna be 72 still talking about 50 Cent.
Right.
Yes. I think this was the first time she done it in her book, but she does it every couple of months.
Right. Well, the thing was, she's 53 years old now, and she looks good at 53 years old. But I remember her doing an interview saying that she and 50 Cent were at some game, and she saw him, and they went up and they apologized and kind of, were good. They weren't best friends, but they're good, and it kind of squashed everything. So the fact that she would put this part in his book about their sex life, I understand that that was her ex, and a lot of people probably want to know about some of the things. And so she puts in her book, but I don't think it has to be degrading of him. You know what I mean? If you're really over somebody, you're not bashing them 14 years later. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, hope she... Yeah,
but my thing is, I can guarantee you she was the one who initiated getting her butt up out that seat and walking over to him. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
That's probably one thing about her.
You
for him,
don't.
It was just a flame.
Right.
And for her, it was just so much more deeper experience and all that. It's almost like I said, we as women, we do this a lot. We create this fantasy in our head of how we wanted things to be and how we thought things were, and not dealing with reality, because a lot of times we're afraid to face reality that, okay, this person was just in it for this, or it was just a fling. They would never like me like that. They weren't really that into me. We do that.
It made more to the story.
From feeling the pain of maybe rejection or not making good choices. But, I'm mindful of that. And with my girlfriend, I try to tell them, like, is that a fantasy in your head? And I do it a lot. So I know. Like, is it reality? Is your feelings towards this person, or your feelings towards how the situation ended, based on the fact that you created these things of fantasy of how the relationship was in your head, or was it reality? Was this person good to you in real life?
Mm-hmm.
Or were you imagining how you thought it should have been? So maybe it's a little bit of that, but she just needs whatever it is. Go to counseling, get a therapist.
Let her tell it. They were Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it was a fling. He keeps saying that it was a fling. It was a fling. Y'all remember he had to get a restraining order against that woman.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, just as crazy as she want to be. I'm over her.
Vivica, you're bigger than this. Get past it. All right, well, there's a new study out by Stanford, Harvard, and the Census Bureau saying that white male children who grow up rich, pretty much, they tend to continue that path. They continue to stay rich or upper middle class. Whereas black boys, if they grow up rich, they go on to become poor. They also said that women, black and white women, they continue, it's up and down with them. But the study also shows the disparity above it all is that that black folks have the lowest median income at this is the average, $38,600 a year, where Native Americans have $39,700 a year. Latins have $46,900 a year, while Asians have $80,000 to $70,000 a year. What are your thoughts on that?
You talking about this is income?
Yeah, income. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure how accurate that study is, because I know, for example, I'm not sure if it's black male men and women, but black women is the largest growing business owners in the whole United States.
Mm-hmm.
We continue to create businesses, build businesses from the ground, and be successful at it. We're the number one college grad in the United States.
Yeah.
So I think maybe together we're not doing that well, because I still think that there's an issue there on the male side. But I can address the whole fact that if a black male grew up rich, that it's not growing generationally. So the next generation doesn't keep up.
Right.
And it makes sense to me. It's a legacy that is new to us, right? So a black person can't come up to you and say they're old money, right? That drives me crazy. Unless you're straight out of Africa, you're not old money, boo. Because you may be second generation money, but you're not old money. You're second and third generation money, but you're not old money. Black people were slaves in this country for over 400 years. We were oppressed from basic rights after that for another 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine having to build wealth in those type of conditions.
Right.
So the mindset of the generation that built wealth doesn't necessarily transfer down, because their children are around other people and other young black men and women who didn't come from wealth. So that's transfer knowledge, right? So I think we're losing that, because the transfer knowledge isn't there, and I think it's going to take, like everything else in America, you can't compare us. I hate when they put us in the same category of statistics as other people who've had their freedom and been building wealth on the backs of our grandparents.
That's
for
true.
Generations. That drives me nuts. You can't put us in the same category as a white person and say, well, compared to a white person, this is how blacks are doing. You build wealth on the backs of my grandmother and great-grandmother for generations before I was able to even vote. So how dare you? So I'm just leave it there.
Yeah, it's like there's a chunk of time that's not even being considered. There's a piece of our history that's not even being considered.
But that's in every situation. They don't consider. My thing is, don't release any statistics unless you're able to say, after we gave them their freedom, after we gave them vote. make sure you say that before you read out the numbers, because you can't oppress people for that long and then have the nerve to constantly tell them how bad they're doing.
That's true. You know what I find interesting is the fact that, and I'm going to say these numbers one more time, when it comes to overall, and this is like throughout the United States, blacks have the lowest median income, $38,600 a year. Native Americans have $39,700 a year. Latin Americans have $46,900 a year, and Asians have $80,700 a year. Isn't that crazy? 80,000 to 38,000. It's crazy.
But there could be something that could be said for that too. A lot of the Asians come to this country,
mm-hmm.
and it may be. My thing is, I used to hate when people say that race plays a role in everything, especially our background and slavery plays a lot in a lot of things that make us who we are today. It used to drive me nuts, but it does. An Asian person come here, right? They don't have the historical legacy of being mistreated
mm-hmm.
and oppressed. So they come here. They're coming here as just to learn of opportunities. We're born into a toxic society with nothing but passed down trauma, transfer trauma. So we don't have that first start.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself, emotionally and mentally, plays a lot on how you perceive yourself and how you perceive your ability to do things. So, for example, an Asian person come here. They're coming here without any negative perception
history.
Of what America is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And any negative history within their minds. So for them, this is you come here, you have an attitude, an energy of excitement, and you can see opportunities. We're clouded by so much trauma that we don't see opportunities a lot of times. We see
survival.
Survival, and then our victimization too plays a lot in our own minds. That we still see ourselves as victims in a lot of cases because we're still treated that way, and so all of that plays on the psyche. It plays a lot on the psyche. So immigrants are able to come here. How come immigrants can do it? They're coming on a clean slate.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's also. I was going to say, let's also talk about when immigrants come here, they get stipends to actually start businesses.
Yeah.
They get a helping hand from the government.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true. Very true. Very true.
And the fact that Mexicans are making 40 or Hispanics are making 46, they're probably working 3 or 4 jobs.
Yeah.
Just to make that. They're probably working 3 or 4 jobs just to make that. First of all, a black person can't get 3 or 4 jobs, and then the jobs. My thing is, we just tired of working. We ain't gonna do 3 or 4 jobs. I'm sorry.
We sure. No, I remember, TK. I remember years ago, I was struggling financially, and I told Miss Parker, I said, I'm gonna get me a part-time job. She said, Stephen, just work harder at the job you're doing, cause we can make commission. She was like, you don't gotta do all that. Just do what you're supposed to be doing. That's the job you got.
Yeah.
Well, look. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back with more hot topics after this.
Yeah. You know where I'm from. Yeah. Windy City. Yeah. You know where I'm from. Yeah. Shot City. Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up? 773. What up? That's 708. What up? What up? 630-815. We la. From the Midwest, homie, this is life. We do it the best, yeah, we do it right. We keep up in these streets, yeah, from day to night. Y'all know where we be, yeah, you know we rep that. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me. From the shop, my dude. Came in the game for the crown, my dude. Know a couple goons from the south side to leave your mouth wide open and don't make the whole crowd move like rah, rah. With it around, my dude. From the low end to the wild, wild too. Hunters and these youngers, they be gunning and be stunting. Ain't no punk, nobody smiling at you, huh? It'll go down, my dude. Without a word or a sound, my dude. Out west, they will clown out too. Bring out that cannon for nicks. Demanding your shit while you panic and flinch. You standing and pissing and vanishing, dipping. Blow bands with a chicken and laugh at that lick that they hit real quick. These dudes wild out too, huh? You know now, my dude. The look of the street is a frown, my dude. Don't work, you don't eat, stay from round they food. The hunger, the feast is shot town, don't snooze. The heat of that bang of the hammer, these tools. They using the war on the street and there's few who live by that, don't die by that. That's fact. It's Chirac, I'm from that. From the Midwest, homie, this is life. We do it the best, yeah, we do it right. We deep up in these streets, yeah, from day to night. Y'all know where we be, yeah, you know we rep that. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me. It's Chirac, my hitter. Yeah, the best city on the map, my hitters. Know a couple spots that'll leave a fucking shot by the talent that we got, so watch them hitters. Yeah, watch. We on top, my hitters. The women we got, they be hot. Traffic be moving non-stop. Middle finger to the cops. It's different every block, but we still cream of the crop. Summer's by the lake, keep a bucket feeling great. In them Jordan number 8s, it'll pop. People move here by the flock to get the festivals, food in the spots. Forget the tickets be costing a lot, but it's the home of jazz house and bebop. With the Bulls, the Bears, and White Sox. Can't miss the legends and pimps that we got. With the best of the best in hip-hop. Whether you like it or not. It's the crucial conflict, psychodrama, and twister. Common, Kanye, Lupe, Bump, J, Freddie, G, King Louis, do or die. It's the shot. From the Midwest, homie, this is life. We do it the best, yeah, we do it right. We deep up in these streets, yeah, from day to night. Y'all know where we be, yeah, you know we rep that. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me. That 312, yeah, that Windy City. That 312, yeah, my head is with me.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. We want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and, of course, our official website, thestephenknightshow.com. You can also check us on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Go to our website. You'll learn all the ways you can listen to us. All right, well, Trump's legal team has filed legal documents alleging that Stormy Daniels broke her non-disclosure agreement at least 20 times, and they are seeking $100 million per alleged breach of the contract, totaling $20 million. Now, Daniels is claiming that her hush money agreement was never valid in the first place due to the fact that Trump used an alias, David Dennison, and he never signed it. Now, Trump's attorney reportedly paid Daniels $130,000 to stay silent about their alleged affair in 2006. And this was a couple weeks before the 2016 election. Daniels is seeking help through her online fundraisers to help pay for her legal fees against Trump and return back the six-figure payment. What are your thoughts?
First of all, I thought he said there was no agreement and no one paid her off. Then that story changed quickly because the attorney came out and said, no, I paid her out of my own pocket.
Right. From his home, yeah.
Why are we not talking impeachment? That's what I want to know. I don't know all the details. And this scandal had broke out when Obama was in office.
Oh, my gosh.
His head would have been hanging out the front door right now. They would have cut his head off.
Yep.
Physically and emotionally. I mean, and mentally. Like, why are we just, I mean, it's just, his presidency has been such a disaster, right?
A sideshow.
Yep. That it has normalized a lot of behaviors that any other president wouldn't have gotten away with it. It's just, it's baffling to me, the stuff that we deal with him.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you think
the fact that you're suing a porn star, it's ridiculous.
So the fact that they tried to have Clinton's head for getting head from an intern, and here you have this president, even though this happened before he was president, he paid for it, so it was a illegal act. That was prostitution, illegal. Correct?
Yep.
Right. So he
campaign funds.
Campaign
funds.
broke the law, and you embezzled because it's campaign funds.
Yep.
So you doubly broke the law.
Well,
there are no charges being brought up.
It's interesting because I was watching The View this morning, and they were saying the fact that they are now they're suing her. She must know something. She must know something. They don't, because she's going to be on 60 Minutes in a couple of weeks. And they keep pushing the date back because they have to make sure the legal stuff is taken care of. And they said that the fact that he's suing her, there's something she must know outside of just their affair, their alleged affair that they had. But
so maybe the suit is just is to keep her quiet.
To keep her quiet.
To keep her in litigation.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. Well, I can't wait to her 60 Minutes to see what she's talking about. All right. So Prince Harry, the wedding is coming up. Royal wedding is coming up in a few months, and he has decided not to sign a prenuptial agreement. Now he's worth $42 million, and he says that this is going to be. He doesn't feel like they're going to get a divorce. He feels like this is going to be their, his wife, and they're going to live on happily ever after. Now, some of the royal family is kind of side-eyeing it because Meghan, his fiance, has already been divorced once. Now, the circumstances of her last relationship, they said that she's not really flight risk because she only was married to him 2 years, but the royal family side-eyeing. Prince Harry said, we're good to go. Do you think he should sign a prenup?
Yes. I believe in prenup. And
I do too.
Woman, I know it's rare, but I believe
it is rare. Yeah.
I feel like if you got that much money, you should protect it. And prenup is not saying the woman is going to get nothing. There's going to be prenup just means that you come to the divorce agreement before the divorce happens.
Right.
So in case the divorce was to happen, there are prenups that say in case the divorce is going to happen, it's up half. You get $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's still better than nothing.
Right.
So,
hey, look at Janet Jackson. She had a prenup.
Sure did. That billionaire. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think people should get prenups, and Mariah Carey had one too. She wasn't even married and got paid.
Right. She got paid. Right. She sure did. What was it? She got paid for inconvenience fee.
Yeah.
Inconvenience fee. $10 million. Yeah. Right. Inconvenience. Well, I think if you think about it, statistics are that 50% of marriages end in divorce. And so what it is not necessarily, I think a lot of people have a bad, feeling about prenups, but really it's protecting yourself. And it's not saying that you won't get anything or they won't get anything. It's just saying that in case something happens, because it's easier. We talked about this before on the show when we're talking about Mary J. Blige and her husband, their divorce and their prenup. It's easier to do it when things are good than when it is when things are bad. Because that's when they start coming after you with everything. Yeah. And by the way,
well look, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties from the emotional trauma of going through a divorce.
Exactly.
That's true.
When something is not working, we say, okay, we want to go our separate ways. But a lot of what the toxic behavior comes from is fighting over stuff.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Don't you want to love somebody enough to say, you know what, we've already settled that. We've already made a decision when we was in love. The decision is fair. Let's move on. I wish you well. You wish me well. And let's move on. Because but they equate to say a marriage is a form of a business agreement. So if it is, they treat it like it in the beginning.
Right.
You're right. But I think what happened to Prince Harry is he went and got that good.
He got that good, and he don't know how to act.
He's one of those guys who's been a playboy for so long. He finally got the person he's so in love. He can't see past that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Queen Elizabeth is looking at it like these new royals aren't like the old royals. The new royals do get divorced.
This new age royals,
look at
right?
And look at Diana and Charles. They get divorced.
Exactly. All right, well, our final topic. So OJ is not a fan of Colin Kaepernick's peaceful and non-violent protests. So apparently the Jews said in an interview that he thinks Colin made a mistake. I really appreciate what he's trying to say. I thought he made a bad choice by attacking the flag. He said, I grew up at a time when deacons were in the KKK. I don't disrespect the Bible because of those guys. The flag shouldn't be disrespected because of what cops do. The flag represents what we want America to be. Now, when he did it the first time, I thought, well, you take a gamble. I'll give you credit. But then he continued doing it, and where he made the biggest mistake. OJ says that he was friends with Donald back in the day, and even went to Trump's 93 wedding. So I guess they're trying to associate him with Donald Trump, but I don't know. What do you think about OJ's comments about Colin Kaepernick?
I think he needs to sit down.
Right, have that receipt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still baffled that some black people were shocked of this new documentary that he killed those people. Duh, we already knew that. The only reason we black folks was happy is because we felt like we got one over on the white folks.
Finally got one over, right.
Finally got one over. And so, but I think that it's time for us to change their mindset of that because he's never been for us. He's never been for us. We don't care about what he has to say. He couldn't respect the Bible that much. He split two people and killed them, left them in their blood to die.
Yeah.
How do you respect the Bible?
And then bragged about it in an interview.
And bragged about interviews. So you don't respect the Bible that much. Nothing he says makes sense. Everything he says is self-indulgent. He just cares about him, wants to look good, feel good about him. It's always about him. He's not for us. And so we don't care. I don't care what you got to say.
I agree. Well said. Well said. Chica, you want to add anything?
Nope, she said it all.
She said it all? Well, listen, Ms. Parker, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Chica, I know you're staying around for movie reviews. Have a great weekend. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is Trina Broussard, and you're listening to my new single, Where I'm Supposed to Be, on the Stephen Knight Show.
Just keep accepting life can be so sweet when you
is showing me my path. My heart belongs in your grasp. I only see you underneath your light. I can't survive without your kiss. My life dripping from your lips. I'm nowhere if I'm not by your side. It feels like time slows down, and every breath is getting longer. I feel my heart sinking to the ground, and every weakness is getting stronger. And as I'm falling, I can feel you lift me up underneath your wings. And just every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin. And it's every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. And I'm breathing in every single sound you make. I can feel your words all in the air. With your voice making my heart beat. If your soul is all I see, it's like the rest of the world is not there. It feels like time slows down, and every breath is getting longer. I feel my heart sinking to the ground, and every weakness is getting stronger. And as I'm falling, I can feel you lift me up underneath your wings. And it's every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin. And it's every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. And as I'm falling down, I feel you lift me up underneath your wings. And it's every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin. And it's every touch, how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life.
Show 'em how to move like it's your only option. Show 'em how to go, girl, cause you do it flawless. She be like, he be like, my hitters be like, rep your town tonight. And we on. Show 'em how it's done when your back is in the corner, but your dream is number one. She be like, he be like, I be like, yeah, 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 yeah. Let me start this anthem all proper. From poverty, I still finish college. Through it all, keep my face stay shining, cause your boy right here is a soldier. Back to the music, telling you why I do it. For my brother, his daughter, my dreams stick to it. I lost a few on the way, miss them all the time, but I keep the memories alive on the music. Thought I wouldn't do it, thought I couldn't do it. Thought I wouldn't do it, thought I couldn't do it. Thought I wouldn't do it, and I couldn't do it. Watch me do it, do it, do it. Show 'em how to move like it's your only option. Show 'em how to go, girl, cause you don't stop, bruh. You deserve to win for sure. Got $1 and a dream, and no 100 guarantees I'm gonna make it out this life. That's cool with me. Trust in my faith and my beliefs. Music therapy. So, I just wanna be the man I am. Yeah, yeah. They thought I wouldn't do it, thought I couldn't do it, thought I wouldn't do it, thought I couldn't do it, thought I wouldn't do it, and I couldn't do it. Watch me do it, do it, do it. Show 'em how to move like it's your only option. Show 'em how to go, girl, 'cause you do it flawless. She be like, he be like, my hitters be like, rep your town tonight, and we on. Show 'em how it's done when your back is in the corner, but your dream is number one. She be like, he be like, I be like, yeah, 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 yeah.
I came from nothing, came from shit. Had a goal to set, I had a name to get. I turned pain to strength, I gave fame a grip. I changed lanes to gain, and my aims to live. Had to show them how, call this tutorial. Made history, this historical. Niggas Satan, that's just adorable. Went from poor and that shit's affordable. All I need is my team now. More trees, more lean now. I'm heating up, I got steam now. It's real shit, it ain't a dream now. I moved up and got paid quick. YH who I stayed with. And this here look beautiful, like the baddest bitches I laid with. They thought I wouldn't do it. They thought that I would quit. Can't take no losses, I'm a boss. Tell all y'all bosses I'm the shit. Y'all boys so off, but I'm a hit. Got no time to talk, I'm getting rich. Can't hear yo talking like I'm deaf. And I kill no coffin with the shit.
Show 'em how to move like it's your only option. Show 'em how to go, girl, 'cause you do it flawless. She be like, he be like, my hitters be like, rep your town tonight, and we on. Show 'em how it's done when your back is in the corner, but your dream is number one. She be like, he be like, I be like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Monisa, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Now, on April 21st, the brave trustee of Westwood Baptist Church, Trina Louis, is spearheading the hashtag Woke at the Wood, hashtag MeToo event. Now, this event is an intentional desire to advance the hashtag MeToo campaign in the community conversation about sexual assault in the black community, black church, and beyond the walls of the church. Now, tonight, Trina Louis and one of the featured keynote speakers, Dr. Lomax, join us to tell us more. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yes, yes. You know, when I was reading up on this event, this is so current to what's going on, what we're seeing in Hollywood, and even with the person in the White House, we're seeing a lot of this stuff going on. Trina, let's start off with you. First of all, let me let everyone know I've known Trina since I was an intern in college. She was my favorite boss I ever had in the whole wide world. Anyone that asked me that knows that. So to see her involved in this and everything that she's been doing in her career, thank you again for joining us tonight. But tell us about this event and why this was important to you to get it going.
Well, first, Stephen, let me make sure I put in a plug for my church. We are woke at the wood.
Yes.
That's Westwood Baptist Church, located at 915 Glen Burnie Road, and our esteemed pastor, Reverend Michael R. Lomax.
Yes.
And so I wanted to get that in because, again, it's important for us to say how this is not only going to begin, but how we at Westwood are going to advance this conversation. And so for me personally, this is a heartbeat moment, Stephen. Mm. And it kind of began some years ago with a family member, an adult male friend of mine who offered during a conversation we were having about family loss. He told me that he, as a young child, was actually groomed and sexually assaulted by a prominent member of the church. And this was in Richmond, Virginia. Wow. And as he told me, he remained in silence. But as I'm not sharing, keeping his confidentiality, but sharing the story of, just kind of how I was just caught in awe as he discussed this, others began sharing their lived experience about being victims of sexual assault. And for me, like I said, that was to say, no more. We have to do something, we have to say something, and we have to begin to talk about something that we have been long silent about in the black church and in the black community.
Wow. And statistics and research about black men and women that have been assaulted, and even in the church, those numbers are crazy. Which we don't talk about it, so you don't know about the numbers. What can you share about that?
I can share. I'm going to give you some of the statistics that we offer on the website, but just talk about it a little more. We know that, according to research, Department of Justice has said that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18. Mm-hmm. And the Black Woman's Blueprint, because I want to give credit for this research, says 60% of black girls are sexually assaulted by the time they reach 18.
Wow.
Now, we're 70% of the black church, but we're remaining silent on something that is happening to our young boys too, young boys and young girls. Because boys carry that shame in silence because regardless of sexual orientation, they're taught to be men, to remain silent. And we don't talk about it. And this is our opportunity now to speak up.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Lomax, thank you, and you've done a lot throughout your career. You and your husband have done so much for the community, so I want to thank you again for your work. Can you talk to us about kind of, a lot of people don't know that the hashtag #MeToo campaign did not just start. It first was announced in like 2006, and then now it's picked up as Hollywood has stepped up with some of the accusations. Can you speak to us about that?
Yeah, definitely. It's so important to historicize this moment because MeToo did begin in 2006. As not a hashtag, but as a grassroots movement. Now, it is important to note that began in 2006 by Tarana Burke. Let's be honest, we would not know about Me Too, what Tarana started, if a white woman in Hollywood did not tweet Me Too, right? And it was, you have that happening, and you have people on Twitter saying, well, wait a minute, Tarana started that. Now, I am also saying, well, wait a minute, Tarana did not start, however, the sexual violence movement. That started over 100 years ago, over 100 years. And so it's very important to put Tarana within the continuum of work that has been happening. So you have, I like to divide it. I'm a scholar before anything. And so for me, it's important to divide kind of the labors. You have what we call hashtag activism, right? So you have Me Too, which was first a social movement before it was a hashtag. But you have that. Then you have the organizers who have been working over 100 years. Then you have them. Then you have the researchers, which would be me. Researchers and the organizers have always worked together. The black researchers and organizers have always worked together because our work feeds each other, right? So you have a couple people. I'm so glad that Sister Trina mentioned the Black Women's Blueprint. They are incredibly important to the sexual violence movement, and they've been working a very long time. You have them. You have the National Organization of Sisters of Color Ending Sexual Assault, SEXA. They've been out, I don't even know, maybe 40 years. Then you have A Long Walk Home by Salamisha Tillett that I believe began in the 90s, I believe. Then you have What About Our Daughters? Began, but they've been around for probably a good 20 years. So all of this is before Me Too. These are folks who have been working. What we have to ask is, why didn't the media catch on?
Exactly.
Then, of course, we have two more I want to name, and that's Kimberly Crenshaw's work, who is the one who she's an attorney. She's also a professor, but she's the reason why we have the terminology around intersectionality. But Kimberly Crenshaw has a hashtag Say Her Name, and also the African American Policy Forum. And then you have Aisha's No, the rape documentary, which was the first documentary ever on sexual violence for the black community, which was done in 1994. So here we are in 2018, and we're acting like we have never talked about this before. And you have black women say, wait a minute, we've been doing this work over 100 years. And so as a scholar, my thing is, well, the first documentations of women black women acting against sexual violence are the slave narrative.
Exactly.
We told about what was happening on the plantation during breeding and the raping and all of that. So I'm a studier. I study slave narrative. So you have that You have the book Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, which is a woman who's telling her story. She escaped from slavery, and she's talking about what happens on the plantation in terms of rape. So you have black women have been saying Me Too, but more than Me Too, they've been saying no more. This is
no.
Not, Me Too exists on a continuum that has already been at work. It's just that Hollywood happened to catch on, and they happened to catch on to that hashtag. But you have thousands of women who have been doing work for an extremely long time.
Most definitely, and you talk about the slavery, sex allegations starting with slavery here in this country, and I was reading, which I didn't realize, because a lot of times people they associate rape with women being sexually abused, but I read that slave owners would rape the slave fathers, in front of their families to demasculate them and to create fear. Have you heard about that?
You said slave owners would do what now?
They would rape. So if a slave, he has his wife and his kids, the slave owner would rape the father in front of the family to demasculate him. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I have a published review. It's on Jezebel, and it looks at Jezebel, the biblical figure, the person in the Bible, Jezebel, but how that relates to black slave women who were raped. And so the idea was that the slave owners were, breeding was rape. They didn't consent to that, right? And so the slave owners and others would rape the slave women. And so we know that narrative. That's how we kept the plantation currency going, right? Because we had to have babies, especially when you could no longer bring Africans in from the continent. So you had to make more slaves here in America. And so they were constantly raped by everybody, not just the slave owners, but also the patrollers, also the overseers. And then when they were forced to breed with other slaves, that was also rape because they didn't want to do it.
Right.
But there's a scholar who has done work, and I talk about this in my book on Jezebel, because we don't talk about the raping of men. He calls it third-party rape, the rape that happens to black men during slavery, because he says that they didn't consent to breeding either. So whenever someone has not consented, that has been rape.
Right.
And that's what we need to understand. When a person doesn't consent, it's been rape, and that's what we need to tell our young sons, right? I have a thing where, typically we tell girls, well, don't go out late, don't wear a short skirt, don't do this and that. And I'll ask the girls, how many of you, when I teach in the institute and university system, I'll ask the girls, how many of you have been told that? They all raise their hand. And I ask the boys, young men, how many of you have been told those lessons? None of them raised their hands. And I said, okay, so that's a problem. We're teaching girls not to get raped. We should be teaching boys not to rape. But in order to do that, we have to have a language around consent, and we don't have that, especially in the black church. We have to develop a language around consent. But here's the thing. To develop a language around consent and to talk about rape, we've got to talk about sex. And so the black church has not wanted to do that.
Exactly. Great point. Well, Trina, let's talk about this event, the Woke at the Wood, hashtag Woke at the Wood, hashtag Me Too event. Can you talk about the setup? And I know you have a keynote speaker panel. Can you talk about that?
Yes. And I want to talk about our audience, too, because this is, although we are focusing on women of color and young boys and girls, this event is for everyone. This is a community conversation for all. And we at Westwood Baptist Church and our pastor, under the leadership of our pastor, we want to create a safe place for people to be still, to listen, to engage, to talk, and to say no more again to this issue of sexual assault and violence that is permeated and affected us in the African-American community. So we have, again, as our panelists, you hear Dr. Lomax talking It's important. We can't go forward unless we talk about this in a historical context.
Correct.
And so Dr. Lomax is our keynote, our featured speaker, because like I said, not only has she been doing the work, she's been on the front line, she's been writing about it, researching, and she knows all the brothers and the sisters and all of those who have said no to this, no, that we won't be silent anymore. So Dr. Lomax will serve as the keynote speaker. in the morning, the event, we have a continental breakfast from 9 to 10 and registration, and then we begin with some talking about, we know that this is a sensitive subject, and we have opportunities for people to go out and to talk and engage. We're going to have some counselors there. Dr. Lomax will bring the historical perspective and talk about where we are now in this campaign, in this movement, and then we'll have lunch. Everything is free. I need to put that plug in, Stephen, that this is a free event because we want everyone that we can fit into our church to come and engage. And then our additional panelists in the afternoon on to advance the discussion. What happens when the church hurts? And what happens when these things happen to our community? Not just talking from a historical perspective, but what we can do to educate now, to raise awareness now. And that will feature Dr. Lomax as a panelist, including our own pastor, Reverend Michael R. Lomax, who also has been prominent on social media and from the pulpit having this conversation where others are not having it in the church. Additionally, we will have Dr. Corey Walker, who's the Vice President and Dean and Professor of Religion and Society for Virginia Union University, because one of the things that we want to make sure is that we're responsible from an academic and theological perspective to make sure that we educate the generations to come. It's not just about here. It's about the generations to come. And then we also have a representative from the Y, who's the Director of Sexual Assault Services, Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence Services for the YWCA, because you know that they're also prominent in, they provide a safe place for families and women who have been victims of sexual assault and domestic violence.
Awesome. And again, this is a free event, and it's for everyone. Real quick, let's talk about the black church because, let's talk about sexual assault in the black church because, you know, us as black people know that we don't like talking about certain things and we don't like, you know, it's taboo to talk about certain things. And I know that in my family, I had a family member who, you know, she came out that her grandfather had sexually molested her, and it literally broke the family up. So how do we get past, you know, hiding these secrets and when they're exposed, coming together as a family to deal with it?
But the black church, again, you know, the black church has to get over itself in terms of, first of all, how it sees women and girls. And historically, the black church has seen black women and girls very similar to the way that they were seen during slavery, as being kind of these Jezebelian figures who they entice men. What were you doing that made him touch you? So there's that, right? But then we carry the shame of sexual assault, the black church has. So it's, did you entice him, but we don't want to talk about it because we're ashamed of the sexual history and the fact that it is being carried on. But then we have to develop a language of accountability. I mean, the black church has had a very hard time in holding men specifically who have sexually assaulted women and men in the church accountable. They've had you can go down the line, you can look at R. Kelly and how he's been supported by the black community and black churches, but specifically, let's think of that to Mike Tyson, who not only was he supported by the black church, he had a group of ministers who actually stood with him when serious convicted of rape, and here are these ministers in the black church with him, right, as him kind of being the victim. As opposed to the person who was victimized. The only time I feel like the black church is, wait a minute, this is not okay, is when black boys are raped by black men.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, we have to deal with the whole gendering of that. Like, well, what is that about? You know, that we're okay with little girls, or we can turn our cheeks, right, and say, well, maybe they were, you know, enticing them. Maybe they were doing something. Maybe they were being fast. But with little boys, we just can't see that. That goes back to the whole narrative of emasculation, right, for them being raped. So the black church has to really get to a point where it can be honest, not about sex work and violence, but it has to
jump in a little bit. And I just want to say, you know, from another, you talk about a biblical perspective and the shame of talking about this in the church. Well, preachers on every Sunday are preaching about the Bible. The Old Testament actually has stories about sexual abuse, rape, and incest. And as I say, this is a heartbeat moment in the Bible. There was a young woman named Tamar, And her brother who found her attractive and appealing, created a scenario where she would bring him food, and he grabbed her, and he took her, and he said, lay in my bed. And she said, no, brother, I'm your sister. I don't want to do this. He raped her.
Wow.
He raped her. This is in the Bible. And then he told her to send her away. And she went to her other brother, Absalom, who said, did this happen to you? And she said, yes. And he said, don't take it to heart. Be quiet for now, my sister. And she lived in shame. So if the Bible can speak to it, and God extracted, he talks about what he did, what happened with the brothers and the father for keeping it in silence, but she lived in shame. She was never able to tell her story. And still today, as we advance in the church, we're still not telling this story. We're still remaining silent on this. And
Very
this
true.
is an opportunity, again, for us to speak out. So we can't carry the shame. As a matter of fact, on our one call, I just received a message that we can't put the information on our email on our one call because we have the word rape in our flyer. So again, these barriers, we're not going to let these barriers stop us from having this conversation.
Most definitely. Well, this is a conversation we definitely have to keep moving forward and keep letting the world know about. Tell us one more time when the event, April 21st, where the website, how they can find more information.
Yes. I'm going to start, again, #WalkAtTheWood. Come out, everyone. This is Saturday, April the 21st from 9:30 until 3:30. It begins with a continental breakfast, so we're going to feed the stomach before we feed the soul. And then we have our keynotes in the morning. Again, the event is free. I say free, and it's at 915 Glen Burnie Road, Richmond, Virginia, Westwood Baptist Church 23226. And you can go to our website as soon as you listen to this. Go to our website and register at Westwood Baptist, and it's a hyphen, Virginia.org. That's Westwood Baptist, hyphen or dash, Virginia.org. You click on the #WalkAtTheWood link, which is in the right-hand corner, to register. And our email for more information is information@WestwoodBaptist-Virginia.org. Information@WestwoodBaptist-Virginia.org, or you can call us at 804-288-3224. That's 804-228-3224. And please share. We have a link at the bottom. You can share on Facebook. You can email, because on Saturday, April the 21st, and on every Sunday morning, I want to plug this again, every Sunday morning, we are Woke at the Wood.
That's right. Powerful. It's going to be amazing. You got that out. Well, Trina Louis, Dr. Lomax, thank you so much for coming here and having this conversation. I encourage everyone to go to Westwood Baptist Church website and listen. We'll be right back. For more information, go to StephenKnightShow.com as well. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Stephen.
Knowing that you were gone. in my bed. How long will this end? Oh, oh, oh.
We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. Baby, where you go? You know I love you so much. Yeah. Yeah. Baby, where you go? You know I love you so much. I love you so much. Yeah. You know what's on? Real special with us. Real special with us. You and me, we all that. I love you like I know you love me back. Yeah. You love me back. Yeah. And I'll do anything for you, baby. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. Tonight, yeah. I love you so much, yeah. We can book a flight, yeah. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. Tonight, I'll do anything for you, yeah. We can do everything that you want, baby. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. You know I love you so much, baby. And I'll do anything for you, yeah. We can do everything that you want, baby. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. You know I love you so much, baby. And I'll do anything for you, yeah. You know I love you like a, you know I love you like it's always. You know I love you like it's all day. And I'll do anything for you, yeah. You know I love you like a, you know I love you like it's always. You know I love you like all day. Anything for you, yeah. You, yeah. You, yeah. You, yeah. You, yeah. Baby, where you go? You know I love you so much. Baby, you're my everything. Yeah. Baby, I'll do anything. For you. Oh, I'll run the world and I'll book that flight. Gonna run way. They don't have to know. Baby. Know that I just love you so much. You know that I'll do anything for you in a rush. I'm in a hurry for that love. I need that heart, need that soul, need that everything that should have. Same message as always. Love until they never stop our ways. I need every second with you, baby. We can book a flight. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. You know I love you. I love you so much, yeah. We can book a flight, yeah. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. I'll do anything for you, yeah. We can do everything that you want, baby. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. You know I love you so much, baby. And I'll do anything for you, yeah. We can do everything that you want, baby. We can book a flight and leave tonight, yeah. You know I love you so much, baby. And I'll do anything for you, yeah. You know I love you like a,
You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party.
She got a diva look. She walk in the room, everybody like. She got a diva look. She walk in the room, everybody like. I could tell what she hitting on. Already got me thinking what she sipping on. I could see her roommate playing bodyguard. The other one best friend, she gon' block hard. But my game like Jordan Jackson. Spit it like Biggie when I get it crackin'. See everybody be a don in my faction. OG schooled us to grow past them. I inbound the ball, broke the full court press. How you doing? What's your name? What's next? Followed by a verbal game of chess. A couple words in her ear, later sting the rest. I'm like,
you got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party.
She got a diva look. She walk in the room, everybody like. She got a diva look. She walk in the room, everybody lie. I step off, her friends start judging. He's not the type to wife up or love him. Now her emotions kick, push and shoving. She see through the persona that they be loving. Cause my game Cam Newton, Tom Brady. Mama's baby, raised me from the 80s. Taught me how to talk when it's to a lady. I put it down so post show, no maybe. I feel it vibrate in my pocket. The text read, I'm digging what I'm watching. I replied, I'm digging that you're watching. Let's slide off a combo when nobody's watching. I'm live.
You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. So cool, old school, big Snoop Dogg, I be breaking the rules. I'm phenomenal, your mama knows, so I'ma go and get it. Push did the beat, so you know I got to spit it.
So cool, new school. A-Omega, I be dropping them jewels. I'm phenomenal, the ganja blow, so baby come and hit it. Kush did the beat, so you know I'm gonna spit it.
You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You got the look of a diva. Dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guest, Deanna Lynn, is the owner of Deez Hot Spot here in Atlanta, Georgia. Restaurant, everyone has to try it out. She's here to join us tonight. Tell us more. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Everything's well.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I heard, before we go into the restaurant, that you are also a comedian. Is that true?
I am a stand-up comedian. I go by the name of comedian Deanna Lynn.
Okay.
I've been doing stand-up for about 10 years now.
Wow. How'd you get into that?
Yeah. Actually, I started doing sketch comedy with a group out of New Jersey and Philly called Made to Laugh, and from there I just went into stand-up after I finished doing the sketch comedy. So I started out doing sketch comedy live on stage, like in Living Color, Mad TV. We were doing it live on stage, and then I just branched off from there. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How was that transition going into stand-up? How was the transition?
It was very different. It was very, very different because you're by yourself. You know, You're working with a group. You know, you kind of can hone off each other's talent. But when you're by yourself, it's just you and the mic.
Right.
So it's different, but I absolutely love it. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know comedians sometimes get under fire for sometimes pushing the boundaries. Some people think sometimes some can go too far. What is your gauge that lets you know how far to go when you're doing your comedy?
Because you want to know why? With me, I'm a little bit different than normal comedians. I just tell my own personal stories.
Okay.
So a lot of comedians, they talk about hot topics.
Right, what's going on.
What's going on in the news and politics and stuff like that. I talk about what's going on with me personally. So if I know that I can't really push the boundaries if I know it's personal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just tell the funny stories that's going on in my own personal life, with my husband and my children and different things like that. That's enough to keep it going.
Yeah, I understand. Does your family ever say, Mom, why are you telling all that? Or your husband like, why are you telling all that?
All the time. My husband gets mad a lot, but look, you're the brunt of the jokes because you're the funniest one in the house.
Right, exactly. Well, that's great.
Exactly, so yeah.
So let's talk about Deez Hot Spot. That's in Medina, Georgia, which is South Atlanta. And, I mean, I was looking at the pictures and the menu. I was like, I need to go make a drive to Medina to try this food. You have anything from classic turkey burger, with fries, to an elegant butter poached lobster. I mean, tell us about kind of what made you decide to go into the restaurant business.
Actually, when I moved here, I've been living in Atlanta for almost 4 years now, so a little over 3 years.
Okay.
And when I came specifically, to hone my comedy talent, but I do cook. So I was like, well, maybe if I could find a little gig at a little, hole in the wall, little bar, little VFW,
right,
American Legion or something like that, maybe I can get in their kitchen and cook, because that's what I was doing in Jersey.
Okay.
And so I wasn't able to find that here. And, we lucked up on this little sports bar that was for rent, and we wound up going in there, and we just started grinding it out from there. Because, that's what I really, really wanted to do until my comedy got off the ground, because I really didn't know anybody here.
Right.
So, with the sports bar opening, and then, we wound up closing within a year's time because the landlord was not good. But, we kept our customer base, and we, kept our following on social media. And so we still deliver to factories and companies and different stuff like that. And people come and pick up food, and we cater, and we do all of that kind of stuff. So we're still, popping, even though we don't have an actual building.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand you were never formally trained, but you just have this love for good food and this love for cooking. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah. You know what? I've always loved good food. And it's so hard to find really, really good. Well, for me, it's hard to find good food.
Yeah, I understand.
A lot of people think they can cook.
Right.
They really can't cook.
Yeah.
And you just get accustomed to what you're accustomed to. But then when you try Deez Hot Spot, you're like, oh my God, what have I been eating all this time?
Right. What have I been doing?
Right.
So how did you come up with your menu? Because I know I've seen just on different other shows where restaurants are being established, or chefs and cooks are trying to come up with a menu. How did you know what you wanted Deez Hot Spot to sell?
Well, when I was working, when we had the sports bar, we was just doing mostly bar food, like burgers and cheese steaks. Because I'm from Jersey, Philly.
Of course.
So we were doing cheese steaks. We was doing mostly all bar food.
Okay.
But I basically cook what I like to eat. And what I think that people want to eat.
Right.
So I just, that's really where I come up with the menu. I sit down and I think about it. A lot of people are getting away from beef and pork. So we make a lot of stuff with turkey. We do a lot of turkey burgers. We do a lot of stuff with turkey sausage and ground turkey and turkey pepperoni. So we do a lot of that, even though, a lot of people was not even really eating that either. But I would prefer, to serve turkey over, a lot of pork. And
it's a healthier option. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is your most popular or best seller on the menu?
The loaded rice bowls do really, really well. What it is it's I I make red rice. It's kind of a play off of Spanish rice.
Right.
It's red rice made with sesame. So I just add a few packs of sesame to my rice, and that makes, it flavors it, and it also colors it. And I put it on the bottom, and then we add toppings. All the loaded rice bowls come with broccoli, peppers, and onions, or you can just choose to have a loaded rice bowl with broccoli, peppers, onions, zucchini, squash, mushrooms. You could just have a vegetable bowl.
Right, yeah.
But they also come with chicken, they come with steak, they come with fish. You could get a fish loaded. So just a whole bunch of different stuff over top of rice.
Right, okay. That sounds good.
That's really, really popular, yeah.
It sounds really good. So what is the one thing you learned? Obviously, you're a comedian first, and then you have Deez Hot Spot. What was the biggest maybe challenge or growing pain in establishing Deez Hot Spot?
I don't have a lot of friends here in Georgia.
Okay.
So it's really difficult because I was very popular where I'm from. I have a lot of friends, a lot of family. So coming here to this area, like trying to get to know people, and this, Atlanta is a melting pot for so many different areas.
It really is, yeah.
And coming here and being like a fish out of water. So I just had to take my marketing skills that I've learned over the years with, marketing my comedy and marketing the sketch comedy group that we used to have. I just had to take my marketing skills and go out and, market Deez Hot Spot and actually comedian Deanna Lynn myself because I really didn't know anybody. So that was a really big obstacle.
Yeah, yeah. So what's coming up down the pipeline with the comedy?
Well, actually, I am working on something really big for this summer for my birthday.
Awesome.
I'm trying to get some heavy hitters because what I was doing when I first got here, I was doing every first Friday, once a month to market myself, and I was bringing some people in from Jersey, from Philly, from Ohio, different places like that. And then the location that I had, they closed down. So then that's when I kind of picked up Deez Hot Spot and like really ran with that until, the comedy picked back up. And so now the comedy's starting to pick back up, and I'm, meeting new people. Right. So I'm really trying to do a really big show this summer at the Performing Arts Center here in McDonough, and that holds about 800 people. So I'm
wow.
It's a really big this summer. And, just, plugging in, doing some open mics, around the city and stuff like that. Just trying to really get my name out there because it's still kind of new. I've only been here, like I said, 3.5 years, so it's still kind of new. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you can also bring some of the food from Deez Hot Spot and sell that during the show. See? There you go. I won't even charge you for that idea. But
it's really hard to mix the two.
No, I understand. There's probably a lot going on in both directions.
It is.
Yeah. Well, tell everyone they can keep up with you, learn about the comedy, learn about Deez Hot Spot. What's the best way to keep in touch?
Okay, I'm on every single social media platform. You can follow me on Twitter at D Lynn, the comedian, DELYNDA comedian on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at comedian Deanna Lynn on Instagram. Also, you can follow Deez Hot Spot on Instagram and on Facebook. I have it's just Deez Hot Spot on Instagram, Deez Hot Spot on Facebook, and I also have a fan page on Facebook for comedian Deanna Lynn.
Awesome. Listen, Deanna Lynn, thank you so much for taking time out your schedule. Keep doing your thing.
You're welcome. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. And for more information, you can go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. We can find out where you can eat some of this good Deez Hot Spot food and learn more about comedian Deanna Lynn.
I would love to have you guys. Thank you.
Well, listen, we'll be right back after this.
Whoop! Whoop! Yeah. Step up in the club, they like who that? They like who that? I said they step up in the club, they like who that? Yeah. Step up in the club, they like who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with Lil' Mama on my lap. Who that? Step up in the club, we party, no comparison. Niggas tryna ball forever. Marvin Harrison, them hoes getting fucked together. Probably sandwich them, you know I'm only about my cheddar. No interfering there. Bottle popping up in the air, money throwing in the sky. I'm tryna make $1 million. That's our all-time high. While you always mad we getting paid. If you ain't from the struggle, my nigga, you can't relate. My focus on the money. Most niggas get in the way. You in the way of my success, my nigga, then you astray. Okay, you wonder why I don't talk much. I stay to myself. In the VIP sense and drunk around no one else. Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with my mama on my lap. Who that? You know I'm chasing De Niro, trying to make me $1 million though. Shorty scheming, I have a demon, don't want no zero. Only chasing them cutthroats, she fucking with the stars. Trying to chase the ball without getting on the job. Me, I'm never worried. A hoe will never turn me on when money coming in. We battle like it's free for all, you jeopardize that. More reasons to get involved. Stay low and always keep your circle small. You know they saying why he fly, shorty just trying to get by. I'm trying to get up in the rim bounce. You know how we ride. Pack the club up in the slide. You know the cheese slide. Can't be with you forever. I need the cheese, man. Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring it to the back. Shorty on the dance floor, I'm trying to get behind that. Who that? Step up in the club, they like, who that? Money in the air, you know them boys blow stack. Bottles all night, tell them bring them to the back. Up in VIP with my mama on my lap. Who that?
This is Achille Perro checking in. You're listening to the only one and only Stephen Knight Show. So check us in. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
Good, Stephen. How's it going?
I can't complain. It's my birthday eve. We're saying it all night, so everybody knows. So I take cash, credit. I'm joking. No.
Oh wow! Hey, 40 is a milestone birthday, so do it right.
Hey, what? Milestone. Ain't no milestone.
It's a milestone birthday. Do it right.
I'm not 40 yet. I got a few years for that.
Sorry.
I got a few years for that. But anyway, how's it going? You doing good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, I'll let you and Chike take it away with movie reviews.
All right. Well, I'll kick it off. So I saw the latest video game turned movie in Tomb Raider, or Tomb Raider, depending on who you ask, starring Alicia Vikander. And it's the story is based off, of course, Tomb Raider, which is a Lara Croft franchise that's been around for, I think, 15, 18, maybe 20 years. And it's a kind of an exploration crawling game where kind of like an Indiana Jones in that sense. And so this is actually, the storyline was based on a similar storyline from the 2013 video game of the same name, and it follows Lara Croft on discovering her path on learning who her father was, who went missing when she was a child, and what he was involved in, and discovering a mystery on this island. So that's kind of the quick overview, and it's exactly what you expect from a video game movie. Now, I've never actually played any of the Tomb Raider video games, but this movie feels very flat, very one-dimensional. You get introduced to characters, and then you hop to the next scene, and they have 5 minutes to get to know each other before they're like best friends, and you hop to the next scene, and the action is fun, and there's a lot of throwbacks that people seem to like throughout the movie. So I would put this as a very middle-of-the-road movie. I call it the airplane movie. If you're in an airplane and you have movies on the screen in front of you, this one's fine to watch. If you're a fan of the series, you'll like it. I think a lot of the throwbacks of her using the bow and arrow and certain scenes will excite you, but for me, it was a big miss.
Yeah, I saw it too, Adam, and I think that because of, I guess, the storyline is supposed to be the beginning. I think a lot of people are in a different place because they're so used to the franchise with Angelina Jolie. It is not that movie. It is not. So don't go to the movies to see this movie with those movies in mind. This is like a rewind to the beginning of the whole Laura Croft storyline. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. It just didn't hit. It didn't meet my expectations of a Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah,
they'll pick up in sequels, but this one just didn't hit it.
Yeah, I agree. It's when she's at the beginning in London and she has no money and she's doing that little bike race. You're like, okay, well, that's fine. A little action at the beginning. They introduce some characters you never see again. Then you discover that her dad has this fortune and she's a millionaire or whatever. And then she hops into Hong Kong all of a sudden, and she picks up her co-star Daniel Wu, who does a great job. Also, Alicia Vikander does a great job in the movie. She's kind of the breakout, or she's the highlight. And Daniel Wu is kind of the, if you've noticed the trend lately, movies will be adding Chinese stars or Chinese film or TV stars to their movies to break into the Chinese market and give it more of a view. Daniel Wu actually does a good job, though. But again, it's flat. She meets him. She convinces him within 5 minutes to take this dangerous journey to this island in the middle of nowhere that claimed both of their fathers. But he's along for the ride, and now he's like best friends with her. And it's, again, they have a lot to do, I guess, in 2 hours. And it definitely just felt rushed because they want to add all the stuff for the fans. They want to add the puzzles. And the puzzle was fine. There's a couple puzzles in it, but you're like, okay, that's fine. Now they move on quickly to the next thing, and they move on quickly to the next thing, and she's going to survive, so you never feel too worried about her. But, yeah, it's definitely for the fans.
Yeah, and it is a movie for this theater. I saw it in IMAX, so it is great to visually, to see on the screen and the sound effects. Wonderful. The storyline just, it was weak to me. Overall, it was a weak movie.
Yeah.
However, it was visually great to look at, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, I agree.
If you must see it, go see it in IMAX, but don't expect too much.
Exactly. And it's number 2 in the box office. Number 1 is still Black Panther, so it did okay. And I think it did well overseas, so we'll probably see a sequel down the line.
Oh, of course. So I'm hoping with the sequel, Hollywood, if you're listening, let's kick it up a notch. Let's get an original storyline. Maybe something partially from the video game, and then get some new young writers in there to create a whole new situation so you can create new history. Just saying. That's all. Yeah. I mean, a little fan service is fine, but otherwise, let's get something new. Right. Is that the only film you saw? Yeah, that's the only thing I got to catch this weekend. Okay. How about you? I also checked out Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh and Oscar Isaac and Tessa Thompson. Listen, guys, this movie, this sci-fi thriller, was a surprise. I was actually surprised. So Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac play a couple. Oscar Isaac is a career military, and he is sent on a mission, and they do covert missions where he has to be top secret about it, and he can't even tell his significant other, who's Natalie Portman. And this mission that he gets assigned to is so secret that he can't even talk to her a little bit about it. And she senses the danger in it because he's being so protective over what he's about to do. And apparently there is a life-changing event that happens on Earth, which he's sentenced to, go check out. And she is a world-renowned scientist, and he is one of the top officers in the military. And he goes missing. And she presumes him to be dead. And then the military comes to find her because they need her expertise in order to deal with where they sent him. And I don't want to tell too much, but it's like I said, it's a sci-fi thriller, and this whole scenario is really plausible. It's something that could probably happen in our society, and it's not necessarily in the future. It could happen tomorrow, and that's the part that makes it so scary. And I'll say this. The movie makes you think about our existence in the universe and if we're the only ones here. And if we're not the only ones here, if another species came across us, what would that be like if there are other species? Jennifer Jason Leigh, of course, she won the Oscar for, what was the Western? The Quentin Tarantino? Crazy Eight?
The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. She never fails. She plays a psychologist in this movie, and she has the eeriest performance in this movie. Definitely check this movie out. It's very smart, very clever, and there's underneath the sci-fi thriller storyline, there's a love story that's happening between Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac, which is very palpable underneath all of the thriller. So definitely check it out. I think it was brilliantly made, and it holds your attention. It's a little slow in the beginning because they have to build up to where it's going to take you, but I promise you, once it gets rolling, you're going to be all in.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it's kind of just, the machine that Black Panther is going to keep all other movies on the wayside, but don't forget, there are other movies out there, and there are some good ones, so remember
Wakanda Forever.
So, yeah. Steven's 2 movies for the year, which is the same movie twice.
All right.
Well, we'll keep him motivated.
What's coming on the pipeline?
So for me, Ready Player One, which actually comes out at the end of the month, and this is based on a sci-fi book about this kind of pessimistic future where everyone lives in a virtual reality world and has been doing it for so long time, and they kind of the owner dies and creates this Easter egg, and everyone in the virtual world is trying to find it because they inherit the company and everything. And there's a lot of 80s references. You get a lot of like Back to the Future, some earlier stuff like Pac-Man, Mickey Mouse, things like that. And it's directed by Steven Spielberg. So that's kind of the big movie that I'm looking forward to see. And it was pretty popular in South by Southwest as well. That was where it was screened just recently.
Oh, nice. What about you, GK?
I actually saw the previews for that, Adam, and I'm to be totally honest, it overwhelmed me. Just watching the preview, I was like, I don't think that I want to see this. So I'm going to let you see that, and you can tell me about it.
I'll tell you what. I listened to the audiobook a few years ago, and it was really good. And when I saw the trailer, I did think it was stupid. And actually, I was like, this is going to be so bad. But, I thought the same thing with Rogue One, the Star Wars movie, and it surprised me and it did a really good job. So I'm hoping the same happens here.
Okay. All right. I know I was slotted. I said last week that I wanted to see The Strangers too. I still want to see it, so that's still on my list to see, even though it's been out for a couple weeks now. I enjoyed the first one so much. I need to see what the second installment is giving. So that's on my list. And, of course, in April, we have Infinity War coming out. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see when Infinity War comes out because of the great monster that Black Panther is, if Infinity War is going to bring any of that along with it, because Black Panther will be featured again in that movie. So I'm just trying to see if the momentum is going to carry over into that film. What do you think?
I think so, and it's interesting now. People are like, well, what's going to be the bigger movie, Infinity War or Black Panther? Because Black Panther's already 5 weeks in the box office as number one, over $1 billion worldwide. Now we have Steven saying this for the rest of the year. So there's goods and bads. But,
pros and cons.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it will be interesting to see if Infinity War might have the worldwide kind of grab, but I don't know if it'll have the domestic. But it's.
Is that the one where all come together?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
so the one you had to be. Yeah, you have to watch for like movies for the past 10 years to finally be caught up, and that's what people are saying is Black Panther. You can hop in. You don't need to know anything really about the Marvel universe. You can hop in and watch it. It's a standalone. Infinity Wars is 10 years in the making, so we'll see how it fares against Black Panther.
It's crazy because some of the Black Panther cast is in that movie, right?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, sister and T'Challa.
Yeah, how quick they did that.
Well,
everything was filmed like at once.
Just to give you a little backstory on that Marvel universe.
Okay.
In Infinity War, there's going to be a major villain that they're all going to have to band together to defeat. So they're going to need everyone that you saw already to actually fight this battle. So all these movies that came out were very intricate and strategically placed to lead up to Infinity War, because it's all going to mean something in the end.
Yeah, it's a big. People are speculating half the superheroes are going to be dead by the end of this movie. It's a really big deal. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So it'll be interesting to see. And a quick sidebar too, if you want more Black Panther stuff, Angela Bassett was actually on the Late Show, whatever Stephen Colbert's show is.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So she has a pretty good story about the waterfall scene. So you get to be more of that. Check it out. Always wear your sunglasses. Always wear your sunglasses.
Wear your sunglasses. Wear your sunglasses. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, listen, guys, thank you.
And I'm also.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm also looking forward to Tom Hardy and Venom too. That's the next Marvel installment coming out.
I hope they don't mess it up.
Yeah, I'll be watching that too, I guess.
Sure you are, Steven. Sure you are.
Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for letting us know what to spend our money on and what to save. And have a great week, okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
But when it comes to me, I'm the last to get my love in. I give until it hurts me more. I know just to say no could mean that I'd break someone, and I'd hate it to happen when I know I'm capable to just say yes. But most lie and abuse, and that gets me. It just makes me want to get in my car and run away. See, I just wanna be somewhere where skies are blue like fairy tales. A secret place where I can stay. I wanna go far away to another place where no one knows the story of my name. True story. I know sometimes there's right and wrong. There is no price for peace of mind. I try to be the one to always help someone. Some can't take it, and I hate it when I'm fully capable to just say yes. But most lie and abuse, and that gets me. It just makes me want to get in my car and run away. Ooh, I just wanna be somewhere where skies are blue like fairy tales and all my dreams be true. Where I can stay. I wanna go, I gotta go, need to go another story. I want to.
my car.
This is Savage.
And this is Ty.
And we are from the Articulate Podcast, and you are listening to the Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Janera, how's it going?
Great. Stephen, how are you?
I'm good. It's the day before my birthday. I'm so excited. You know, I love birthday stuff. How you doing? How's Dylan? How's the whole clan?
Everybody's doing well. You know, Dylan's just getting big. He's two. Well, he'll be 3 in July, so he's a little over 2.5. I know, it seems like just yesterday. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of great things for us, so let's take it away, okay?
I do. You know, a lot. Spring is tomorrow, the first day of spring. So, you know, they're having a lot of sales, you know, to celebrate spring. So I'll go ahead and get started. J. Crew is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 40% off of any 4 styles. I have no idea why they only selected 4, but whatever. And if you're shopping online, you need to use code NEW at checkout, and that's NEWNEW at checkout. Shutterfly.com is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 50% off of everything online. And, of course, this is an online store. I absolutely love Shutterfly. If you guys are thinking about getting someone like a nice little keepsake gift for Easter, Shutterfly is the perfect place to do that. But they're having a sale now, and you can get 50% off of everything. Plus, you can get free shipping on all orders of $39 or more. So you have to use code Happy Spring and ship $39 at checkout if you want the 50% off and the free shipping of $39 or more. Today is the last day to shop 9 West, to shop their friends and family event and get 30% off of everything. The Gap is having an online-only sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 50% off of everything in the store. Well, I'm sorry, actually online. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off of your purchase with code GOBIG. Old Navy is having a sale today only, and if you shop there now, you can get 50% off of all tees for the entire family. Plus, you can get up to 50% off of all dresses, accessories, and shoes. Banana Republic is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 40% off of your purchase of $200 or more. You just have to use code BRSHOP, and that's BRSHOP at checkout if you're shopping online. Carter's is having a sale today only, and if you shop there now, you can get 50% off of everything. Plus, you can get an extra 25% off of your purchase of $40 or more, and you have to use code 4U if you're shopping online. The Children's Place is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 60% off of everything in the store and online. The Limited is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 60% off of all dresses. Plus, their clearance items are starting out at just $11.99. Aldo is having a sale on all of their shoes, and if you shop there, you can get 50 to 70% off of select styles. And last but not least, New York & Company is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 50% off of spring arrivals. Plus, you can get buy one, get one, 50% off of select items.
All right. And they can find that all at budgetjumpall.com.
They surely can.
Well, listen, have a great week, and talk to you next Monday.
Okay, talk to you next Monday.
All right back after this.
You are now listening to Eldar Q. More than sound. Only on EldarQ.
I met this pretty mamacita at the bar. She had a luminous smile like a million stars. She grabbed a margarita at first sight when I seen her. I'm thinking, damn, I need her. Feel like I need a breather. She take my breath away every step I take. Can't find the words to say, but soon that'll change. I grab her waistband, this feels amazing. She sure know how to dance while she got my hand. She got me feeling like the man. I love her body party. I usually don't dance, but this girl is naughty. As she drop it low, bring it up slow. Turn me around, hold me close, don't let go. The way she dance on me, like she's from my dream. The way our bodies smooth, perfect harmony. The way she dance on me, like she's from my dream. The way our bodies move, perfect harmony. I love fiestas, fiesta, fiesta. I love fiesta, fiesta. Te amo, fiesta. Te amo, fiesta. That winding and grinding got us soaking wet. She said, take me home. We hop in my car. I drop the top, then she hop on top. Good thing I don't live far, cause it's getting hot. We start making out. She show me what she bout. She open up to me. Her body's figured out. She ripping off my clothes. I unstrap her bra. I bite her panty line. She slide them panties on. As our skins collide, your eyes go back. I never been inside, but I must come back. We make love through the night beneath the candlelight. This can't be wrong, cause it feels so right. Hours go by, this gaze in your eyes is something beautiful I thought I'd never find. Now you're in my arms, I won't waste your time. You're my shooting star on this never-ending night. The way she dance on me, like she's from my dream. The way our bodies move, perfect harmony. The way she dance on me, like she's from my dream. The way our bodies move, perfect harmony. I love fiestas, fiesta, fiesta. I love fiesta, fiesta. Te amo, fiesta. Te amo, fiesta.
Only on eldarq.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the First Lady Faith Evans, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show.
Listen, that's our show. Shout out to Trina Louis and to Dr. Lomax, and of course to Deanna Lynn for sharing their stories. For more information, go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. Hope you have a wonderful week. We're back next week. Be blessed. Good night.
Tonight is all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright.